Marysville Roundtable, a discussion on current events, sports, and entertainment.
Hello and welcome to Marysville Roundtable. School safety is a top priority. Joining us today are our two safety officers, Mr. Cowie and Mr. Green, as well as Marysville Police Officer TJ Williams. Most jobs have a consistent daily routine. How would you guys describe your daily routine?
Well, I think that daily routine is different for all three of us. It's unique because for the first semester, I'm starting out at the middle school, which is a little bit of a different dynamic than, say, where Officer Williams is at the elementary schools and Officer Green is right here at the high school. So there's different dynamics. And as any day routine, I think these fellas can fill you in a little bit more on that.
I try not to have a routine. I try to change it up every day. Mainly it's about security and safety, so I try to stay outside when kids are coming in, just make sure everything's all right. I do perimeter checks of the stairwells, the doors, basically the interior and exterior of the building. Throughout the day I do those. So, and then during breaks and during lunches and things like that, I try to be out in the commons area or by entry doors, so just in case anything were to ever happen, I'm pretty close by. So.
Yep. And you, Mr. Williams?
I'd have to say, hit off of what Jeff said. It's not really a routine for us. Nothing is ever routine.
Yeah.
Basically, what I do every day is I come in, I'll check in with the staff at the front desk, make sure everything is going to get great, make sure they're not having any issues. Then when I go from there, as I check all the doors in the schools, make sure that everything's secure. And then my schedule changes weekly. I'm at a different school every day, and honestly, I don't, in the mornings, know what day I'm actually going to be at what school. So I bounce between the high school, the middle school, and the elementary school, so it changes every day for me as well. So,
Yes. And I feel like everyone in the school district wants to feel safe sending their kids to our schools. What are some of the security measures you would put in place to protect the school from any serious situation?
Well, there's a ton of things. We hardened doors at all 5 of our school buildings so far. It's kind of made it a little bit tough on outsiders coming in, like your parents and such, coaches, you guys that are involved in sports activities. You always know you can't get back into the school because the doors are locked. Well, in this day and age, sadly to say, we have to do that. Some of the other things, we have some other things coming on down the line. I'll let these guys expunge on them a little bit.
Well, I think just by us being here, there's, it was only Mr. Cowie before, now there's 3 of us. We can cover a lot more ground, handle a lot more things, so I think that's one main thing right there.
We have some secondary door locking devices the district's looking at to implement on all doors on interior buildings to just an added layer of security for the doors.
Yeah, I noticed Port Huron announced that they were looking at stuff like that too. Just
Yeah.
a second lock on most of the doors.
Yes.
How can students report any threats to you guys?
There's several different ways. One is the okay to say. You can do it online, you can do it by phone, you can text. But there's also, the school system has a email. Anybody could email me, jgreen@Marysville Schools. The phone number to the security office down there is, like if it's internal, it's 6057. The outside number to it, it's like a
810-455?
Yeah.
6057?
Right, so anybody could do that, or they could just stop by the office. I'm either in the commons area or in my office all the time, so anybody can feel free just to stop in there at any time and talk about anything.
So you would encourage students to come
I
talk
would.
to you whenever they feel
I would, and I
comfortable?
understand I'm new here and a lot of kids don't know me, so I'd like to change that and have them come in for anything. It doesn't matter.
I think what I'd like to touch upon too is we had a couple of bumps in the road last year, right?
Yep.
You were here, we experienced that. But if you recall some of our conversations together, no matter what building you're at, that's your house. You guys, that's your place. It is instrumental that you guys work together. If there's a safety issue in there that's going to jeopardize your safety, I think it only benefits yourselves to bring it to somebody you trust so that it can be addressed. No names will be used, but so we can address the safety issue within your building so you don't get more rules,
Yeah.
right?
And following those events last year, what do you think you guys could do this year to prevent, or something that might be a little bit different than last year?
I feel the best way with dealing with that is communication between us administration, staff. You guys have to remember that we're here for you guys, okay? This is your school. We're here for you. We're here to keep you safe, help communication lines. We can't do anything without you guys.
Yep.
You know, there's nothing like the okay to say. It's okay. Like it says, it's okay to say. We need to know that information. We need to know that something's going on. Our utmost importance to us is keeping you guys safe. So the communication is the biggest key that we have with you guys to be able to get information taken and then passed on to everybody else so that we can make sure that nothing happens. So,
But I think the biggest thing that we could have done, that you guys already did. Remember how upset you guys were last year when campus was closed for lunch? You guys solved that issue. It hasn't happened again. You tightened your belts. You brought that communication to us staff members where it's not going to happen again. So the ball's back in your court. Let's not let it happen again, and you still have your freedoms.
So we practiced multiple drills throughout the year. Is there anything that changed from last year, or is it the same? We just have more security around? What would you say is protocol-wise?
I wasn't here last year, so
I would say that, as you just pointed out, we added 2 extra
Yep.
safety personnel, a police officer, full-time police officer in the buildings now. So what that enhances is it gives more time for the 3 of us to work on the safety drills in each building, to work with staff, to help them understand why we're doing things. And then once they understand a little bit better, they put more effort into it, which keeps their building safer along with their students that they teach every day.
And with, if an incident or something does happen with you guys in here now in the police station across the street, how long would it take for a police department to be made aware of a situation in the school?
well, that all depends on where the call is dispatched to. If the dispatch is sent out to, for instance, if it's a 911 call, all of our 911 calls automatically go to St. Clair County Dispatch. In that time frame, it'd be anywhere probably a 2 to 4 minute response time. By the time dispatch gets the call, dispatch takes information, and then the information is sent out to the officers on the road, and the officer can respond to that area. Is usually, I'd say, between, like I said, a 2 to possibly a 5 minute window with officers responding. If the call comes directly into our police department as an emergency, I would say it's a 1 to 2 minute window. By the time our secretaries get the information, they put it out on the radio right away, and that officer's getting that information within 1 to 2 minutes.
There's been some talk amongst the parents concerning metal detectors following incidents both at other schools in Marysville as well. Is there any mention or motion as far as metal detectors or safety measures to keep weapons out of the school?
Well, there's always been discussion about metal detectors and research done on them. Metal detectors can be defeated, I think we all know that, with plastic weapons nowadays. And then also the other thing you have to look at is the time frame it takes for people to get through metal detectors. I think we've all been
Yep.
to large-scale sporting events.
Yeah.
And the security measures are there for us and our safety while we're in there, but we can see how long it takes to get through that. If school starts at 8 o'clock, we'd have to be lined up at, 6:30, 7 o'clock just to get into the door. So,
Students throughout last school year came forward with information about the threats to our school. How do you prioritize a complaint or accusation?
for me personally, I would just say, you have to rate everything just common sense. If it looks like it's something immediate, and I think you have to treat threats anymore as that it could be immediate, and you have to handle everything very serious. So you have to just kind of prioritize with, okay, the immediate school safety, and then it goes on down from there. Like as you get things secure, then you can address more problems and ask more questions, but right away you just want to make sure that everybody's safe, so you handle it that way.
and the nice thing is now is that we have security and we have criminal law, police officer in the school. So we all get together, put our minds together along with the administrators, with mental health professionals, and make a determination or a decision based on all of the professional knowledge that's there and what the threat is.
We're all very thankful to have all 3 of you in our presence in the school on a daily basis. If you guys have any questions or concerns, this year we'd be ready to help you out in any situation. I'm Nate Clark, and this has been M6 Television.
Marysville Roundtable, a discussion on current events, sports, and entertainment.